Forced me into this 10-year-long friendship. So
that sucks for me.
Philly is overlooked. This city is absolutely awesome.
Hopefully someone wants to listen to this. Maybe it's only one. Maybe it'll be 1,000. Maybe it'll be 1,000,000. Who knows?
Philly's definitely dirty and grimy. But
We are dirty
it does
and we are
feel.
grimy.
This is Join or Cry. Philly, let's get silly. Welcome to Join or Cry. I am your host, as always, the Cheesesteak Chasin Kid, Grant Horan, joined alongside the ferocious friend, your favorite ferocious friend, the Philadelphia Phlirt herself, Carly Potomac. Carly, what are the vibes this week?
The vibes are high. I am officially 27 now, so we can mark that off my calendar here. The weekend was good. It was pretty tame, actually. I'm very proud of myself, besides the puking that ensued. But other than that, the vibes have been great.
Carly says it's tame because you know why? It's that calm before the storm. Because in four days, the Philadelphia Eagles Eagles are going to win a Super Bowl, and this city is going to pop off. Oh, you thought the first Super Bowl the Eagles won was good? Get ready for the sequel, my friends, because this sequel is going to be one of the few that is actually better than the first movie. It's a little bit almost like Top Gun, right? Top Gun Maverick, way better than the first original Top Gun. So that's what's going to be happening here in Philadelphia.
Oh, I hope to God. I think he was in Philly when they won the NFC championship. So maybe he'll come back, and maybe we will see that fine piece of man on Broad Street. And
Just for the Philadelphia
flirt with Miles Teller because I love him. But anywho,
one can dream. That said, we have a fun episode lined out here. Talk about, do good, attractive-looking people live life on easy mode? Do hot people live life on easy mode? Talk a little bit about fitness, Carly and I's fitness journey, things like that. But before we really get into all that, steak and cheese, you know the deal. It's the weekly whereabouts. And boy, oh boy, do I have a little tidbit for all of you. Some information I don't think many people actually realized, right? So let's dive into it. Not this past weekend before, right? NFC Championship game. I go down to the lots with Carly's roommate, some of her friends, bang up time, just as always. We actually went to go see this fantastic DJ Smooth, and I'll tell you, those beats were smooth, my man. Very clean. But that's not the whole moral of the story. The moral of the story is this. Inevitably, most people go to these things and you drink a hefty amount. So be it. Seals must be broken.
oh God.
So I run over to the bathroom line because I'm like, all right, let me just get this out of the way early on. Enjoy my day. I go off all by myself. Totally fine. I'm just a regular man. I'm not worried about that. But as I walk in the line, I see there's this guy ahead of me who's also just in line by himself. Now, you know me, Carly. I'm an extrovert. I'm a talkative kind of guy, so I'm not just going to sit there and twiddle my thumbs for the 15 to 20 minutes I had to wait to go use the bathroom.
I'm going to try to make a friend.
Exactly. I'm going to strike up a conversation. You never know who you're going to meet. And I'll tell you, I may have met one of the best people I actually could have met in this city. So I start talking to my friend. I believe his name's Andrew, if I'm remembering correctly.
God.
And the conversation goes like this. Oh, hey, go Birds. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. The classic, oh, let's win, going to the Super Bowl. But then the classic question comes up. So, Andrew, what do you do for work? Oh, I work at Match.com.
What?
Right? Exactly.
Huh? I don't know this story yet, so hopefully it'll be more interesting since I haven't heard
my
it.
thing. So I'm like, oh, interesting. Like the online thing, like that old people use. Oh, yeah, that one. But I guess you didn't realize, but we also own Hinge and The League.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Shit.
I was not aware that Match.com owned both of those dating apps.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Lo and behold, those are the only two dating apps that I'm still on. I've deleted all my other ones. But I start talking to him about this because he actually works on the UX algorithm side of like actually designing the apps and how they work. And I called him out. I was like,
finding this man in a line to a bucket on the side of the road.
Right? Now, here's what's funny is prior, again, to this conversation, I had some people liking me. I sent like some, likes out, this and that. The classic, whatever. You know what I mean?
Sure,
Nothing too crazy. And I had only had the league for like a week up into that point. Mm-hmm. No big deal. But I tell him like, dude, like, I don't know if these are like any good though, this and that. We're still, again, just blabbering back and forth, but he's talking to me again, like how the algorithm works and how certain things go into stuff and like they can look at profile. Again, some stuff way over my head. I am somewhat technical, but nowhere near the complexities that we are talking about.
How old is this man?
I believe he was about 29,
Oh,
30.
that's it?
Yeah, it was around our age. Point is, so go through this line, talk about the apps, give me a couple pointers, whatever, no big deal. Again, we actually started following each other on Facebook, got each other's numbers, cool and all that. Or not Facebook, Instagram.
I was like, wait, you exchanged Facebooks?
I was like, who the heck uses Facebook? No one. No, sorry. Instagram. And go ahead, do my business, back to the party. Don't hear from him, no big deal. Mm-hmm. But I kid you not, Carly. The week after this happens, and I don't want to say it's, again, maybe it's coincidence.
Brother Andrew?
Maybe it's a placebo effect.
Oh, God.
But I kid you not, Monday morning at 5, or not Monday morning, Monday afternoon, I go on to Hinge. Guess how many likes I have queued up?
Dude, okay, keep going. I don't know, 20.
Yeah, I literally had like 18 likes. I'm like, bro, what happened that, I was like, maybe Brother Andrew sized a guy up, but what happened that again, get like a couple likes here or there, no big deal, to now meet this guy that works at Match.com on Sunday,
potentially
and Monday,
the next Philly hot shot.
Exactly. Also 18. Don't get me wrong. I'd like to think I'm attractive, but something's not adding up there. That's like 1 + 1 equals 3.
The math ain't mathin'.
Math ain't mathin'. So, Andrew, my man, if you hook me up, I appreciate it. So I like the likes that are coming in the pipeline. They're still flowing too. So I don't know what happened to my profile or what's going on there, but both the league and Hinge got a plethora of likes and matches happening now. Now the question is, now I have to actually balls up and message these people or come up with like stupid pickup lines. We'll see if I end up doing it. I'll let you all know if there's any real good ones. Oh, you'll love this one. So guys, Carly is a huge Harry Potter fan.
Oh yeah, huge.
Like, loves
I was
it.
like, what is he about to say?
So you all can like slide into the podcast DMs after I tell you this pickup line and be like, Grant, that is the most cringe, disgusting thing. Like, it is so stupid, whatever.
God.
And it's not the stupid like, oh, Slytherin.
I just had a feeling. I was like, is this have to do with slithering in me? I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Whatever. And this one you really won't understand unless you are a Harry Potter fan.
Oh boy, I can't wait.
So I slide in the DM and I message, hey, are your DMs locked, with like a lock emoji?
Oh no.
If so,
oh God.
Aloha more.
Oh, Grant, did she have anything?
And, okay, the only reason,
Harry Potter related.
Okay, I was gonna say, I should have prefaced, the only reason I sent that Harry Potter related thing was because she literally said like dies for all things Harry Potter.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Wasn't dying for that one because I sent that deaded ass like 2 days ago. Haven't got a response. And
Damn.
You know the league, like you basically go on every day to like go to your new batch or whatever.
Yeah.
For those of you not familiar with it, look it up. It's an interesting app, but
yeah, it's definitely.
So yeah, it sounds like that door's staying locked. That ain't opening. So.
She did not want your spell to be anywhere near her vagina.
Yeah.
That is funny you say that, actually, because I don't want to burst any bubbles here, but Audrey and I have also been talking about how we also have been getting an influx of likes on Hinge. So
it ain't even him.
He either like really just spewed his magic at this tailgate it wasn't even at, or they're doing something with the algorithm, because I feel like my self-esteem and my ego has been quite built up over the past few days specifically. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about the league exactly. It turns out that I actually had signed up for this back in 2018
Oh,
The
God.
only reason I didn't have to wait in the queue thing was because I totally forgot. I downloaded this app as soon as I moved to Philly, thought it was stupid, so I deleted it, and then I just was able to re-download the app, and then I didn't have to wait in the queue. I was just already in, and Audra's been like waiting and like at the gates, like, Carly, how do you get in? Can you endorse me? Can Grant endorse me? I just
So I
started seeing the
endorse
league.
it. You know, honestly, Carly, so here's what I don't understand then.
I've
I
seen
don't know
Grant on the league, and that was a big swipe
You saw-
left.
Are you kidding me?
What do you mean? I see him
Bro!
every other day.
Yeah, but you gotta help me with the algorithm. The more people that like me, the more times I'm gonna get
What are you gonna
shown.
do? Talk on the league?
It's funny. Another one of our mutual friends saw me on the league as well.
Of course they did.
And she messaged me saying, "Oh, I saw you on the league," and I was like, "Interesting."
I don't know
Well,
how I feel about
I
the
guess,
league. Sorry.
I guess you'll know if
friend
I
Andrew.
swipe right at you or not. So they didn't like that comment, but
Oh goodness. Well.
yeah. Well, fun little weekly whereabouts section there. I enjoyed that thoroughly. Let's move on into what
Let's
we're
move
really
on.
here to talk about, and I'll let you go ahead and cue it up for us.
Yeah. So kind of in the same grain of the dating apps, since we like to talk about that. I think we're going to start to talk about fitness first, and then we will kind of dive into our more open forum discussion situation about the pretty privilege, because we thought that would be an interesting topic to dive into today. So yeah, in terms of fitness, I feel like Grant has been really good on his little fitness journey here. He's been really dedicated, and I'm very proud of him because this man is like in the gym. I don't even know how often, extremely often. I see his selfies on Instagram. It looks like improvements have been made. So that's a shout out to him for just sticking with it. How often do you go to the gym? Where do you work out? Go ahead.
All right, let's rock it. So,
Why do you work out? I do want to know the answer to that too.
yeah, so let's go ahead. I'm going to start, I'm going to say at the beginning, right? So,
Of his fitness
classic,
journey.
yeah. So, like I'll say like fitness journey because I don't know, everyone has their own idea of what a fitness journey is and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
Throughout high school, played sports, was always like a regular build, nothing too crazy. I was never like an absolute jacked person in high school. Honestly, I probably should have spent more time like in the actual gym lifting weights than I did.
Socializing.
But for the sports I played, because I played football the first 2 years of high school, and then I switched. I was like, all right, let me do soccer because a bunch more of my friends played soccer, and the World Cup had just happened, so I was kind of like, you know what, dude, soccer's cool, and I like knew I wasn't gonna go play in the NFL, so I was like, all right, let's just go do the sport that I kind of want to mess around and do. So there was no ever like real need to be over muscular or things like that. In college, again, went to the gym, nothing too crazy, and was never like an insane physique. Was never small,
Yeah.
like or scrawny, but was never big.
Fit.
Yeah. Once I graduated, of course, when you start going into work, it becomes a lot harder to actually work out, right? And part of that is because I think the commuting for most people, that is what gets you. For me, when I first graduated college, I would literally get up at like 5:30 every day,
God.
be on the 6 a.m. metro into my office, and be in my office by 6:45 because it literally was like a 45-minute metro
Why?
from where I was. Why? Because I was a 21-year-old kid working on a team with people who had went to Stanford, Columbia, like
Gotcha.
really good schools, and here I am. Oh, I went to JMU, guys.
Have you heard of it?
You heard of it? Also, yeah, I'm 21, and you're all like 23 and 4 and 5. Like, you're all way older than me. So I felt like this real, like, something to prove aspect. Moral of all this,
Yeah.
when you're commuting like that, and then, of course, staying until about 5 o'clock every day, so not really getting back until almost nearly 6. By that time, you're like, okay, well, I want to make dinner. I've spent this much time in the office. I rarely really worked out that first kind of year and a half. All this really comes to most recently back in 2020, being that, again, fully remote. I tried to like work out and do home gym stuff, but doing that in a one-bedroom apartment, there's only so much you can do,
Yeah.
right? And then, like I said, all the gyms were closed because you weren't allowed to go to the gym. And I was drinking a hefty amount. So, as some of you know, when we started this podcast, I talked about this all the way, I guess, either episode 1 or 0. I think 1, because we're talking about fitness goals. Or one of my goals for the year was a fitness goal. But I weighed about 225 pounds at the start of 2022.
Okay.
A little more than a year ago. What I did is I realized that the first thing in order to lose weight, and I looked at myself in the mirror and like I could tell like my face was fat, my midsection was definitely like bulky, and I always like in my brain, I'm all for body positivity. I'm all for if people like want to again be comfortable in your own skin, like go ahead. But at the end of the day, like let's not be delusional, guys. Like again, I'm just gonna call it out.
Self-awareness.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. Let's have some self-awareness because one thing, yes, like to never be down on yourself for your body, but don't be down on yourself if you know like okay, like hey, like I can make a change or I can like keep doing this, and results aren't gonna happen right away. Right?
No.
Like, that's not gonna happen. But again, let's not be delusional and think, oh yeah, if I'm, you know, 28% body fat and, you know, 230 pounds at my height, like that's probably not the healthiest weight that I should be. So point is I was like, all right, I need to make this shift. So why did I work out? Because really in order to lose weight, it is one simple thing. A lot of people think, oh, I have to diet, I have to do that. Yes, of course your diet is a big part of what your physique will look like and where you're going to go. But the main thing, in order to lose weight, you need to be in a calorie deficit. All that means is that you need to be burning more calories throughout the day than you are consuming. So, yeah, maybe forgo that extra slice of pizza, all right? I mean, honestly, for me, it literally was going from, like, I would just go take my boy Ryan Mahoney can attest to this. Just get that Red Baron frozen pizza, you throw it in, all right, that's dinner. You just scoff the whole thing down. Yeah, that's a nice little, 1,700 calories right into your, face orifice. Like, I mean, it's not healthy. The point is, I started this fitness journey saying, I need to get down to a certain weight. It wasn't like a specific weight I wanted to get to. It was just like, I need to lose weight. I was drinking a ton, so for Lent, for those of you that don't know, that's like a Catholic or Christian thing where you essentially fast for 40 days and 40 nights. I did that where I gave up alcohol for Lent last year. I'm actually planning on doing the same thing this year. In doing all that in those first 3 months, I went from essentially 225 down to about 200 to 205. So it was like 20 pounds right off the bat. And like, of course, I was still starting to exercise more and more. Then to like really get to where I am now, which is like a nice 185, trying to bulk up a little more and like turn it into more so muscle now.
Yeah.
It was consistently working out. And it would be literally working out at least 4 days a week, trying to do it like, Monday, Tuesday. Sometimes rest day was either Wednesday or Thursday, depending if like there was a happy hour or something I wanted to do, and then worked out again either Thursday or Friday. Cardio was on Saturday, and that was my workout routine. It allowed me to shed more weight. I will say a big part of my fitness journey now was going through a breakup, and that is a massive motivator. Like for
heartbreak can do that to you.
Heartbreak can be a massive motivator. I think that's why you see a lot of those like sad gym boys on TikTok too. Like, I'm not gonna deny I could be one of them some days, but yeah, going through that was like, all right, fine. Like, let's just use all this negative energy and we go gym. Just keep going to the gym, and yeah, it's been good. So I will say the most recent part of my fitness journey here has been starting like all the kind of supplements and things. Like I also did like, protein whey and things like that just to make sure I'm getting my protein.
Right.
But literally this week started using creatine. So we're bulking up on that bad boy, and I'll let you guys know the results. Or, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see the results. You'll see these arm sausages coming in. You're going to be like, oh man, this boy's beefy.
Oh my God.
That's a little bit about everything. I think I answered all your questions in that rant, even though I didn't go and answer them specifically one by one.
Yeah.
So let me flip it back to you then. Tell me about your fitness journey and why you work out.
Yeah. So I would say that we kind of had this, we didn't go to the same high school or anything, but we had similar experiences where we both were pretty athletic. And I also played soccer.
You're still athletic. Intramurals.
We are still athletic. We've not. This is a present thing too. So yeah, I played soccer. I did track, and then once I went to college, I stuck with intramurals there. I definitely was not like soccer star or anything on the club team or anything like that. But I still loved playing like the intramural sports, like volleyball. That was so fun when we did that with our fraternity and everything.
Yeah.
And then I would say that I definitely started working out more in college. I kind of discovered Gymshark, the athletic brand in that time frame too. So I would like to say I was kind of ahead of the curve with this whole Gymshark thing, because now it's blown up. I see everyone in Gymshark now, and I was one of their OG like fans from the beginning.
Would have been way cooler if you were sponsored.
Yeah, one day. That's a
2023 goal should be Philadelphia Phlirt sponsored Gymshark
Literally,
stuff.
please sponsor me. I have thousands and thousands of dollars worth of your product, but yeah. So that's when I think that I was more serious about working out, because I didn't have like those high school sports to rely on. That at 3:30 or whatever time practice would start, I was gonna be working out for 2 hours, like 5 days a week. So I had to be a lot more self-disciplined, since working out on your own is way harder, in my opinion, than just being like, oh, I'm going to play a sport that I like, and you're, as a byproduct, you're working out, but you're really playing the sport. So, so yeah, I definitely had to find more of a reason to be working out that like wasn't just holding me to my teammates or something like that. So I had to find a lot of self-motivation. We had a beautiful gym at JMU, so it was really, that was motivating enough to like go to this gym that was already in your tuition and everything. So you didn't need to buy a gym membership.
UREC is insane.
It was like honestly like a social place too, because I feel like it was always packed there. So whether you were actually working out, or like found 5 people you knew like in the span of an hour of being there, that was just like a cultural thing. And then also, I guess after graduating, I still continued to work out, but like Grant said, it has been extremely hard for me to stay motivated, especially working in office. So I assume that like you've been able to be so dedicated to your working out and everything because you work from home, which I think definitely helps. Like, I also have to paint my face in the morning. I guess I don't have to, but you know, to look like a professional person that people want to take seriously and listen to, I'd like to, you know, have my face on. So that adds a whole nother element of working out that, like, I wish I could be the bitch who would wake up at 6, not even like 5:45 or whatever, like these girls on YouTube or whatever, and they go to the gym like by 6 a.m. Then they're just, you know, doing their influencing all through the rest of the day, and then they probably get in another workout, honestly, and then they can just take Instagram pictures all day. But that has just not been my experience because I'm not an influencer and I have a full-time job. And I think that I just had to really be strict with dedicating myself to working out at night, because if I wasn't going to go in the morning, there's only one other option. So I also do spin classes, which I'm getting back into. I'm trying to convince Grant to get into spin, but he doesn't want to. But like, it's my
you're
cardio.
Not going to catch me riding a fake bike.
I don't like cardio, so I go to these spin classes. I actually go to this place called Revel Ride, and my girl Siobhan, she actually follows me on Instagram now, which is cool. She's my favorite instructor there. But that's basically how I get my cardio in. Other than that, I mostly just weight train when I'm now. I used to go to Planet Fitness because, again, I used to work there, so I got this free membership. They hooked me up. But then recently they discovered I don't work there anymore. Shame on me. And so they kicked me off the free membership. I am no longer a member of Planet Fitness. And since I worked there, I just feel like I don't want to pay for a gym membership anymore. I was on that thing for like 2 whole years. So I was getting a free gym for like 2 years. And then I was like, I'm over this. I don't like creepy men staring at me when I'm working out. I don't like it being crowded right at 5 o'clock or whenever I decide to go to the gym. It's kind of small in there. But so basically I've been working out at this hotel gym that I work at. So I'm allowed to work out there for free, which is nice. So I really don't know why I took a long hiatus from the gym, because I have always kind of been into fitness and taken it pretty seriously. It's been a slow burn though. I feel like if I take longer than 2 days off, I do not go back for like 3 weeks. It's really bad. I don't know why that happens to me, but I will be really, really good. But if I take more than 2 days off, I'm not going back for like a lifetime. So
yeah, I mean, that's like the biggest thing, is really making the gym like a habitual thing, right? Where it's like, I will say it can become tedious, right? Especially if you start getting bored because you're just doing the same thing over and over. That's why it is so important to switch up exercises. One, because I hate when people say this, you need to surprise the muscle. But that is like an actual saying, because if you do the same workouts over and over, your muscle's like, okay,
you begin to
you
plateau.
get muscle memory, and you plateau, so you need to change out your workouts and do a little bit, different variations, or again, different exercises that work the same muscle groups. Because again, that's what's going to allow your muscles to continually grow and continue to get bigger, better, stronger, faster. Whatever Kanye West says in that song. Right? I will say one of the biggest things too that's like kept me motivated with the gym is really picking up boxing, because back in high school, it really pre-high school and then into high school, I did taekwondo. And taekwondo's cool and all that, sure, for people like that are into that type of thing. I think it's probably one of the, I don't say lesser known, but really the lesser taken up martial arts, especially nowadays with UFC. Everyone's really like Brazilian jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, or boxing really. So come college, I did a little bit of boxing, and then really it wasn't until again, during COVID that I needed something else to do. And I was like, okay, let's get into boxing again, more so because I'd done it and had the skill set just from growing up in a martial arts. I will say it is kind of interesting when I go to one class around here. So at the gym I go to, it's called 10 Hands, 10 out of 10 gym here in Philly. Getting a membership, my boy Randall always hooks it up, and it definitely teaches me a ton. Like today, you can tell there are certain people that he kind of helps a little bit more than others just because they have a stronger skill set. And he's like, all right, let me kind of do a little bit one-on-one work with the person.
Yeah.
I don't really know where I'm going with this tangent per se.
You found like something you actually enjoy.
I found something that I really enjoyed and I can take relatively seriously.
Yeah.
I don't sit here and think I'm gonna actually compete.
Become a boxer.
Like as much as I would love to, and I am considering maybe just doing like some amateur things on the side. One, I probably shouldn't show up to any sales conferences with a black eye or anything, right? So that's one thing that's kind of like, as much as I'd love to, I can't. So I'll probably just end up sticking to like sparring and other stuff. I will say it's actually funny, this kid who I've become like good friends with at the gym, and I do think gym partners are crucial to success because you keep, like I said, you keep each other motivated, especially like during a fitness class or like if you just see each other around, like it gets you going.
Right.
I will say it's definitely helpful if you can find a fitness partner who is in your same weight class.
Yeah.
The only reason I bring this up, and again, Tyler, if you're listening to this, my man, sorry.
Oh no.
Tyler is like 5'7" probably, so I've got a good size advantage on him. And then in terms of like weight size, like I said, I'm probably about a nice 185 right now. He's probably 150 if I had to guess. And he's like this, again, really like sweet guy. He's actually kind of quieter, and again, love him.
Should take Tyler on a friend date.
Totally awesome guy. But at the end of the class today, he was like, hey, do you want to spar next week? And for people that don't understand like what boxing is, like sparring is basically like practice boxing. You wear headgear and stuff to make sure it's not like too serious, and mostly you're really only going at like 70 to 90%. You're not really trying to kill each other because you work out at the same gym and you're supposed to be helping each other for like when a real event is taking place or things like that, right? Point of this is I was sitting there, like I agreed. I was like, yeah, man, I'll spar with you, but I kind of feel bad sparring with you, and I've got like a 5-inch reach advantage on you, and probably got about 30 pounds of weight. Hey, maybe he floats like a butterfly and stings like a bee, but we'll see. Again, I was like, yeah, I'll go ahead and we'll spar with you for a good time. So again, I hope I get surprised, but
I believe in you, Tyler. Don't worry, you can do it. Yeah, and then also just the why I work out, I would say, is probably because I truly, sounds so cliche, but I feel a lot better about myself, and then also like with myself and like with my body when I'm working out. Like I've mentioned, I took a hiatus, like a 3-month one, and I did not feel good at all, like physically, emotionally, mentally. It really directly affects like my mood, like my sleep, just everything. And I wouldn't say I love, like I do like working out, but I don't think that I work out for like, let's be honest, no one is into mom bods, okay? That is not a thing. Yeah. I feel like girls.
Also, I really don't like that people say like, oh, dad bods are a thing. We need to stop this whole trend of dad bods. Like I can understand that a man who is not perfectly fit like Chris Hemsworth and has an absolute 6-pack, like there's a difference between like me, like I look at myself right now and think I have a dad bod.
Oh my God,
Like,
Grant.
but no, but I'm saying, 'cause, like, to me, like, this is just regular fitness. Like, I'm at a fitness level that any man should be able to, like, keep the standard of.
Yeah.
Right? Like, once you start getting, again, to look more like some of these, like, weightlifters and stuff, yeah, that is not, like, those are bodybuilders. Those are people who take their fitness very seriously, respect it. I think if you can just keep a regular build, like, that is what a dad bod should be. Like, you should be able to maintain your regular, like,
Yeah.
healthy body weight.
Right.
So when
thing
people
is,
are like,
we've
oh, a dad
almost-
bod is when you've got, you know, an extra, like, 20 pounds, like, dude, nah, like, that's, you're just fat.
Oh my God.
Like,
Yeah.
sorry,
My thing
call it
is,
how it is.
I'm like, if I
hit
need to
the
be
gym, brother.
out here going to the gym, I would prefer my partner or whoever to be also working out because I am not into dad bods. So some people are. If that's their thing, that's great and all. But like, why? It's just not fair. It's just not fair. You don't get to just drink beers all day and shove down the 7 pizzas or whatever it is,
Well, you
and
know
I
what?
have to
Tell me, I will say-
slave away at the gym.
You know-
So I'm not like.
if we're really going to go down this route, and I'm only going to say this because there are some men who do love big, beautiful women.
Oh yeah, and
So,
there are some
like,
girls who like
Dad
big,
bod.
beautiful
So,
men.
well, that's the thing. So it's kind of just pick your poison.
Yeah.
So that body positive. I think really at the end of the day, as much as I do agree, like, one, being attractive is like have a physical form, like physically be fit. Confidence can sometimes outweigh all that.
Oh, absolutely.
Because if you are really, and that is, I think it's interesting. Some of like the people who are like this the most confident are like, to me, like, are bigger people, but they're just so comfortable
Oh, yeah.
in their skin.
It's like
That it
they're
is like that just charismatic character.
and
They're like, yeah, whatever. And
their self-love is just radiates, and then you're like, okay, I can get down with a dad bod.
yeah, I do think sometimes too people I've like seen like other documentaries stuff like for people like that were like that, then it went and lost a lot of weight because like it was more of a facade. Moral of the story, I guess the beginning question that we told ourselves, right, was like, what's your fitness journey? Like, why do you work out?
Right.
At the end of the day, everyone has their own journey with their body image, body positivity, and all that. Like, when you look in the mirror, don't be down on yourself. If you are down on yourself, no, it's never too late to make a change.
Oh,
Don't
no.
blame it on like, oh, well, I've got a slow metabolism. Like, yes, I'm sure there are definitely some people who
yeah.
have outlying factors, and there are like medical things that can
Sure.
affect that. Moral of the story is when you look in the mirror, if you're not happy with yourself, make a change. If you are happy with yourself, awesome, own it, keep rocking it. You're gonna
Yeah.
vibe.
And I guess that really leads us into our other topic of discussion here, and we're gonna just talk about pretty privilege. So, at first, I'm just gonna read off this. I thought it went with the fitness thing, kind of.
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
just
gonna read
the way you said pretty privileged.
Pretty privileged people, listen up. So I just found a quick definition online of what it is if you are not familiar. So what is pretty privilege? Pretty privilege works on the principle that people who are deemed more attractive based on societal beauty standards have an upper hand in the world and are afforded many opportunities that regular folks don't have. So I thought that was a pretty good definition. Do you, I guess, believe in this pretty privilege, Grant? How do you feel about it? Do you think you are one of those that benefit from said pretty privilege?
Oh, I would love to say I do. I don't know. I think I'm kind of in the middle here. Like,
Okay.
I'll do this, and
right.
you can do this if you want to or not.
Okay.
This is going to be a little self-deprecating in a
Oh,
sense,
boy.
maybe. If I had to rate myself
Oh,
on a
God.
scale of 1 to 10,
Uh-huh.
I'd give myself a 7, 8. That's just looks, right? I
Yeah.
think if you meet me,
His
my
personality
all
brings
this
it way
stuff,
down.
Ah, yeah, honestly. Then we're
He
talking
just
a
shoots down
5,
to a 2.
5 on a good day. I would, again, everything else, if I really was rating myself, I'd give myself like a good like mid 8, like 8.4 or something. But strictly looks, I'm going to give myself a 7.5, 7, 8, right?
Okay. All right.
So to the point of like, do I get anything good or bad from this privilege of good looks? I think I'm middle of the road, so I think I'm not positively impacted or negatively impacted by my looks. Now, I
Okay.
do agree that people who are just stone cold stunners, they do. I'm gonna say, yeah, you have life on easy mode, and
Yeah.
it's weird to say. The only reason I think too, it's also way more visible per se now, and I don't condone this action because I think this is kind of disgusting, and it's really like, again, if you're into it, go do you, go get that paycheck. But if you're an attractive person, more often than not, you can go post stuff on TikTok or post some scantily clad videos.
You can do
and
OnlyFans,
People
you can-
like looking at attractive people. And I was gonna say, then I bring up OnlyFans. Like, you can go make money and just use your body to make money. So, again, I will say too, you have to go to the gym, and a lot of those people do have to maintain that body. So I'm not saying there isn't like effort that goes into it.
Genetics
but
also
genetics
play a part,
though wise as well. Like if you have a pretty face and a nice jaw structure and straight teeth and all those things that come naturally before braces, before cosmetic surgery, anything that you can, like some people do to make themselves feel better and look better. Yeah, I think you are living life on easy mode a little bit because more people want to talk to you, more people want to be around you. And because of that, like you've had this reoccurring theme of like, oh, people want to be around me. So now you have that confidence because people want to be by you, because people want to be like,
that's a really good point.
So it's all this like built up, like you should be confident because, oh, people like me and they want to be by me. And because it's
a
just
cyclical,
that circular, cyclical thing that allows you, in my opinion, to live life on easy mode sometimes.
Yeah, I agree with kind of everything you said. I also, if I had to rate myself, which I don't think I've ever done ever, maybe in my mind or made a joke or something, yeah, I'd say like high 7, low 8. I'm humble, but I'm not, I don't think I'm out here like being a gremlin by any means. But again, that is just looks alone. It depends on the situation, you know. Depends if I have my eyebrows on.
I don't want to cut you off. The only thing is because I know like my dad listens to a bunch of these episodes, and everyone always tells me like, "Oh, you look just like your dad." So don't worry, Dad, you're a 10. I just got the bad parts of your genes.
Yeah. But yeah, so I actually do agree that there is such thing as this pretty privilege. I think there's also like a skinny privilege. I think society is extremely, extremely vain. And I genuinely just believe that better looking people get more things. Their lives are not easier in that they're like maybe happier, but they definitely are like, I don't know, they're given more opportunities, I believe, whether that be job opportunities or opportunities like getting hit on or doing the hitting on and then like succeeding. And yeah, I think that with the whole confidence thing, I totally agree. I think people are naturally drawn to people who are attractive, and there's a fine line though, because I almost feel like if you're like in the top percentile, like 10% of attractive people, like the celebrities and things like that, I almost think that your looks might be almost too intimidating. So I think there's kind of a sweet spot of like, I personally, I mean, it'd be fun to be a 10 for like maybe a day, but like I think in real life though, then you kind of have to like struggle with, are people only being nice to me because I'm pretty, or do they actually like want to be around me and they actually like me as a human being, you know? And I never have had to worry about this because I think, again, I don't think I'm a 10, but I think that is something that people might have to grapple with, like the Margot Robbies of the world. Like, people are always going to want things from you, or just try to be around you, or I guess act like your friend, or maybe even like sleep with you, whatever it is, just because of your looks. And that is actually something you can't control, besides the things you can, like makeup, working out, things like that. So I think it's an interesting thing to look at, because yes, I would say that pretty people go a little bit farther, and it's not fair, but life isn't fair, people.
Yeah, I mean,
so
here's what's interesting actually too, because before we were looking at this as well, I was looking at some studies. So for those of you who don't know, I studied economics in college as well, and one of my favorite classes was behavioral economics, and still actually kind of keep up with that professor here and there.
Oh, do you?
But the whole point of behavioral economics is basically like, why do people do things? Why do certain things that happen in like the human world like exist? And then you use economic type theories to break it down. One study though that was somewhat recently conducted had to do with like the ultra rich, and then would someone, like compared to like regular college professors, or like which one did you think was more attractive, right? And more often than not, because these are people like no one knew either one. It was just, again, regular age, mid 50s to 60s types of individuals, and they were choosing, all right, left or right, whatever. More often than not, they chose the ultra rich person to be more attractive without knowing anything else. They were just picking it like on the scale. So again, how could you say like, oh, well, maybe they have skincare, this or that, so that's what makes them just more attractive now. But to your point of like, life on easy mode and again do more things go someone's way per se, like if they're attractive because they close a couple more deals or if they do this or that, like not saying all the evidence points at it, but I definitely think there is a small correlation.
Okay, yeah, that's a very interesting study. And then I guess from there, do you think that you feel societal pressures in terms of body image as a male? Because I know I feel like girls talk about it all the time, that they were upheld to these impossible beauty standards of, you know, Kim Kardashian, Megan Fox, that type of thing. But as a guy, because you're a guy, do you feel like you're comparing yourself to whoever it is, not Joe Schmo,
Yeah,
but, you know.
so I would say this, right? Here's the one thing. You said this at episode 1 callback when we talked about goal setting. Comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah.
Right? Now, however, I want to work out and have a body image for myself because there was a quote that I read or saw or something the other day. And it was basically saying that, because I'm not going to be able to quote it exactly, the worst thing a man can do is grow old, never seeing the full strength or like physical prowess that he really could have accomplished, right?
That is the worst thing.
I think it is. I think if you go all the way through and you never really put your body to the test and really try to become as strong, powerful as you could, you kind of just wasted this body, right? This whole like, oh, you only live once, so like I should have an extra slice of cake. Oh, you only live once, so I should just do whatever I want and live willy-nilly. No, like, no, I think you only live once, so yeah, like you should prove to yourself that you can do all these things and you are stronger than you ever thought like you were physically capable of being. So that's like at least my mentality like with my fitness journey now is to be like, I'm not, of course, like when I see other guys and I'm like, damn, like they're jacked, like that's, you know, I'd love to be that jacked. I'm not comparing myself. Is there a place that I want to get to? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I'm doing it for me. I'm not even doing it again to be attractive for other people. It's because I want to prove to myself that I can, again, call back to episode 1, 2, hit 225 on bench press. For all of you who want to know where I'm at right now, we're at a good 205 right now, but we're hitting like 3 reps on there. So I think if I upped it up to like 210 right now, I'd probably be able to like hit a rep, maybe 2. So
That's
give me
awesome.
another 3 months here. I think we may be able to hit that like middle
You
of the
will
year.
be able to hit, when you hit
Exactly.
it,
When I hit
we're
that,
manifesting.
Hopefully middle of the year, and then by the end of the year we may have to adjust that goal
Up and away.
So we'll see.
The potential is endless.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
What about you though? Do you feel the societal impacts of like looks, beauty, and all that? Like, what do you think?
Yes, obviously I do, just like scrolling on Instagram and stuff. But then I also found that I honestly just stopped following certain people that mostly famous people, that I just was like, there's just no way. Like, I now follow more fitness influencers that I think I have a similar body type to, so it's a little bit more realistic of what I could actually potentially look like should I get to my peak physical fitness. But I don't follow the Kardashians on Instagram or anything like that. Like, they're obviously beautiful people, but am I ever gonna have a Kim Kardashian ass?
No,
Absolutely not, unless I get some surgery.
Got some surgery. Like.
But yeah, no, I'd be lying if I said I have never considered getting a boob job, because obviously there's nothing going on up here. But like, I just became very comfortable with it. I really thought on it. I wanted one like pretty much my whole life until I got to college. I would say all through middle school and all through high school, I wanted like to get a boob job because I just thought that'd be more like feminine of me, or like maybe the pretty privilege would really sink in if I had bigger boobs. But yeah, no, I'm over it. I just think that I want to get, I don't know if I necessarily need to see my absolute physical best as like that is my main goal in life, but I agree that I'm really just working out for myself, and the byproduct of that, if other people find that attractive, then great, but it's not like I'm working out to get a man.
I think one of the biggest things that you bring up right here as we round out this episode as well is that when you go onto Instagram and social media, so many of those fitness influencers and such are posing, have just hit a workout. Like
the lighting.
They look at like lighting, like they look physically great. So I do appreciate a lot of those influencers who do take pre-workout, like not pre-workout the supplement, but like pre-workout photos to show like, hey, like this is what my body just looks like in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy to be like, oh, cool, I look so good right now. Because people like do see like when your muscles are like pulsing and like all that stuff. Like,
and there's apps and things.
Exactly.
So.
It is good to like look like a Greek god, right? That's great. But no one looks like that 24/7. So don't let stuff like that impact you to when you look in the mirror and be like, oh, now I've got body dysmorphia because like, oh, I don't feel as big, or like, oh, is this happening? And I do think too, like for guys, it's like even if you feel big, and like this definitely happened to me like a couple times where I was even like at the gym and I was lifting, I was like, oh, like I don't even feel like I'm big. I just feel like I'm like super skinny though and like kind of weak, and it is like a horrible thing to go down, but then it like you said, don't compare to other people. Continue just bettering yourself, because as long as you're taking those strides to, again, be the best that you physically can be, mentally can be, all those things, you're going to be better for it, and you're going to be, like you said, happy that you did it in the end.
And just remember, everyone, muscle is more dense than fat, so the scale does not show the whole picture.
So true.
I really didn't weigh myself for like an entire year until I just got my physical, and that was the first time I weighed myself, because I was like, this is not helping me in any way. Like, I'm 5'0". It's not benefiting me, just weighing myself every single day. And I'm certainly not going to go on a diet, so.
Please don't. I love it. Well, any closing thoughts? Any other thing top of mind?
I don't think so. Did you have anything else that you wanted to say before we end this one?
Nah, I guess it's the classic. Go ahead, rate us, leave a review,
share
do all the
us,
things, share us.
A friend.
Honestly, if you share us, that's huge, helping us get those views pumped up. So go ahead, do those things on Apple Podcast and Spotify. Subscribe to the YouTube if you want to. Most importantly, follow us on the gram. We've got the fun content coming out for you. I promise there's going to be some cheesesteak chasing that's happening, as well as another little segment. We're not going to reveal it right just yet, but you all get ready, because the goods are coming. They're going to be flowing, and you're going to enjoy seeing these beautiful faces on your screen. As always, we'll see you next Thursday after the Birds win the Super Bowl.
Oh boy.
On Join
or Cry.